Hello people, my name is Lazy Joe and today I just want to talk about game expectations and just generally like when you buy a game, what you expect from the product you buy. These days I feel like these AAA companies, they're just literally cash whores, cash cows, whatever you want to call them. They make it seem like they care about the player base, but they just push the product out, and it's like these guys are gonna like the game. We don't care about it. They're just gonna like believe whatever we say and just take it at face value. Like the recent games that have been released. The reason why I'm talking about game expectations is because the Division beta came up like two days ago, and it was a lot of fun. I had so much fun playing it again the second time playing the beta. Like I hope it does well. Like I really do. I love shooting games. I love games related to war kind. I love explosions, and the Division was really scratching all my needs in a game of gun war. It's like it's just the games these days being released. It's just horrendous. Like the way they handle it. Like, just take Street Fighter. I don't play fighting games. In fact, I don't like fighting games because of various reasons. But the main thing is, like, I just don't like 1v1s kind of deal. And where you have to put these kind of combos to, like, beat your opponents, counter them. I'm too lazy for that. It's too technical. I mean, Blade and Soul is fine and all, but after I got to my gold rank, it's, like, a bit too hard for me. I just gave up as well. It's infuriating me. I'm just that kind of person, but I just have so much expectations for that. And Street Fighter, yeah, going back to Street Fighter, that game, my friends, the videos I've seen on it, I was like, what is this? How do you? What kind of decision? What kind of planning committee did they have that they thought this was a good idea? Hey, let's release the platform for the game and progressively introduce more stuff to the game. How is that a good decision? It's not an MMO. It's not a game that, you know, like MMORPGs where it's like, oh, we release a game, it's complete. In fact, the MMORPGs, they release in a complete state. Quotations on the complete, okay? Because as we all know, MMORPGs also are bugged and everything. But at least they have everything that they planned into the game. And the other updates are just the add-ons and what the new stuff. XCOM 2. Now the game was complete. I'm not saying it's not. But it was on release. There were so many bugs and optimization problems. Like I crashed on the first few missions so many times I just gave up on, you know, playing it for like a low more, and then they had a hot fix patch a little while later. I don't know, I forgot what was it. I don't know, but after waiting a day, the crashes wasn't as predominant. I didn't pay attention to where the game updated or not because I just woke up. I was like, hey, it's a weekend. I'm gonna play XCOM and whatever. Do you remember the good old days when you go to GameStop? You're perusing the shelves, like, oh, what game I want? This looks cool. I'm gonna try it out. You go home and you play it. Guess what? The game works. It doesn't crash or anything. Like, how is that? Like, I think these companies are getting spoiled by the internet. It's like, oh, the game's bugged. Well, we'll just upload a hotfix for that later, and all will be well. Like, no, that's not how you do games. You are released. It's even more unforgivable for some games that they're a full-on price at $60 now. $60, that's not a small investment to put in. And when you get something that is just not even the value you can get for less, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely unforgivable. The internet is not an excuse for these companies to release these horrendous things. Now, I want to take another game, like Elder Scrolls Online. I love playing the Elder Scrolls games. I love it. I played Morrowind, that was the first one I played. Okay, I was one of those kids that don't got much money and I had to play borrow games from friends to play. Morrowind, I played it. I loved the game. Like, I loved the feature of being able to drop my gold onto the table. Like, I went to this person's house. I remember, I killed off the owner. He was just like this non-quest related NPC. Nobody cares. He had a big house. I killed him. I took over his house. And on his table was, on his living room was like a big, massive living room and a circular table. I put all my loot on that table. My gold, my gems, my weapons, and by the end of my I don't know how many hours I played in Morrowind, but it was not a lot. But I played for a good amount of time. By the time I was done with it, the table was literally filled with gold, gems. It was like literally a treasure hoard. It was amazing. Then came Oblivion and Skyrim. Those games, love it. I just love it. Even though they have these glaring flaws, this is terrible, but in the end it's still Elder Scrolls. I forgive it a little for the poor decision makings. And then Elder Scrolls Online. Sure, they gave it to a new team in ZeniMax multiplayer, whatever, online. And they could come up with a travesty. It was, you're playing for a full-on price game and the game was just broken. I'm just hoping this does not translate to The Division. These days, I was born in 1991. I've come from an age where you go to GameStop, you buy a game, and you expect it to work. Same thing here. You buy a game from Steam or the company website or whatever, and you expect them to be worth what you paid in. Not you pay $60. Oh, the game's bugged. Give it a couple of days for it to fix. Then why release it early? Oh, because they need the money immediately. Like, I don't understand how corporate works. I don't understand how the game companies work, but I'm pretty sure that they could maybe, just maybe, hold the release date back like a week or two to playtest it. Playtest it. Like, I have some knowledge of coding. I know how programs work. And if they can actually spend some time testing their products or whatever, like, is it really that hard? Did they really not have the manpower to like play test it to see if this thing is actually properly functioning? Okay, I can understand if it bugs like 5-6 hours into the game, like those kind of things. But when you have a game where it bugs immediately at the start of the game, what the hell is that? No. That's why I'm talking about game expectations. Besides Nintendo games, I don't think there has been a properly released AAA title game that is not bugged. Like, there's not some sort of issue at the beginning of the game. Like, why? Just, it's unforgivable. What else? Like, honestly, yeah, I just really hope that The Division doesn't crop up like some of these kind of problems. I mean, when we talk about game expectations, let's take a game expectations like Evolve. Like, what the heck is Evolve? Nobody cares now anymore. It's like so hyped up, a great concept that couldn't be realized. The Division, they gave us 2 beta dates, and so far from what I'm playing, that little small area that we've given, the game seems solid enough. Like, I hope to all hell that stays consistent throughout the game that's being released. That's the game that we will be eventually playing a long time. Now let's talk about that game. I've said in my video, I worry about the longevity of the game, because by the end of the beta, maybe because it was the end of the beta, like, oh man, that everything's gonna be erased, like my mood was like shot. But I just didn't feel like playing the game much near the end of the beta, like the last few hours. Like, whatever. It's probably it, because like, you know, your stuff is gonna be erased, nothing really matters. I found a purple M416 at the end. It was like really beautiful. It's my favorite gun of all time. The M416. It's like, I just love it. The game is really beautiful. There's no doubt about that. But the beta itself has some optimization problems. Like when I start recording, some problems just crops up, like maybe my computer, but it was just really pretty strong. Even when I set those settings like a lot lower, it was still having the same issues. And when I'm not recording, the game runs roughly on 50 some frames per second, and I have the frame lock off. So my video card is not bad by all means. It's a 970. It's good enough. In fact, it might be even too good for what we're trying to experience on the Division. Excuse me here, air in my stomach. Games these days, these big games that are being released these days, they really have these kind of problems of on first release problems abound, rising everywhere, breaking, unplayable. You know what? I have Assassin's Creed Unity. I don't know if anyone knows about that game, but that game is a travesty, okay? I pre-ordered that game even. I even have I think the collector's edition or something. I don't remember. I pre-ordered that game. That game released. Literally unplayable. I'm not even kidding. The amount of stutters was ridiculous. I've been looking at like all over the internet, like, is there a fix for this? Is there a fix for this? Is there a fix for this? Yeah, the only fix there is to set everything to low and have it run on 30 frames per second with low texture quality. And because you lower the texture quality, it's even worse than having it on console. How ridiculous is that? Even till now, okay? Even till now, when I even have a new video card, like when I had Assassin's Creed Unity, I had a 750 Ti. Now I have 970. Even till now, that game is still unplayable. Ubisoft was like, you know what? We got enough money. Screw this. We're done. I mean, sure, if I lower the graphics settings a bit lower, now I can play it on medium. It's still, what the fuck? I paid $60 a game for. I paid $60 for this. I'm expecting that it works properly, but it doesn't. It's also because of this, like, I'm also really skeptical of buying new PC games, like, even the titles that I'm familiar with. Because the companies, the stuff that they're doing is horrendous. And go back to Assassin's Creed, the Division is, I think, developed by Ubisoft, or I could be wrong because I'm stupid, or just published by Ubisoft. But if it's published by Ubisoft, then that means screw servers, because Ubisoft servers for Assassin's Creed games were complete shit at the beginning. And they fixed it now, but here's to hoping that it does work. Another interesting thing about Assassin's Creed Unity I just remember, the cinematics also lagged. The videos they uploaded onto the game, they lag. How is that even possible? I don't know, but let's just not talk about that and just not even think about that. It's just horrendous. Anyways, I think that ends it for now. Thank you all for watching me ranting about games and shit. This has been Lazy Joe signing out. Bye everyone. Bye. I'll see you all on the next video.